So the expected happened. The expected happened, lads. And in a shock to absolutely nobody, Caitlin Clark is out.
WNBA fans are going crazy over a bombshell that Caitlin Clark just delivered. She said that she was prepared to play against the Minnesota Lynx, but she was abruptly ruled out. Right now, the internet is in utter disarray. The Fever star. Player is nowhere to be found, and $500,000 is at stake. What do you believe to be the true cause of Caitlin Clark's enigmatic disappearance?
To be here with you guys today, Caitlin Clark officially ruled out for tonight's game against the Minnesota Lynx, the final of the Commissioner's Cup.
So people, here we are once more. The WNBA universe is whirling around like a washing machine on its last leg due to yet another Caitlin Clark incident. And to be honest, I'm beginning to believe that the coaching staff of the Indiana Fever enjoys watching us all perspire more than they do winning games. This whole thing is messier than a kid eating spaghetti, so allow me to give you a picture of what happened. Caitlin's great comeback was intended to happen at the Commissioner's Cup game. You know, that spectacular comeback in which she scores 30 points and demonstrates to the world why she is the face of women's basketball. Rather, it left us hanging like a horrible episode of Cliffhangers.
That is not the case so far. It's looking like Caitlin Clark will be a game-time decision based off what Stephanie White just told the media today. Now,
Coach Stephanie White calls Clark a game-time decision in an attempt to manipulate our feelings. Decision at game time? Really? Saying you might attend your own wedding is equivalent to that. You're either there or you're not. However, don't leave us in suspense till the very end. They seem to take pleasure in seeing grown-ups check Twitter for updates every 5 seconds.
And we'll see what happens as we go through shoot around. And again, I think the most important thing for us is big picture. No sense in rushing anything. So we'll get her evaluated by the training staff.
The excuse of a groin injury is becoming outdated as quickly as milk left out in the sun. Indeed, player safety should always come first since injuries do happen. However, people begin to wonder when you practice one day and then, inexplicably, disappear the next. Those questions get louder and more persistent when $500,000 is at stake.
The Fever is this team, a group that has not experienced any type of championship over the last 10 years, tries to set the tone here with a win tonight. But it's going to be difficult as Caitlin Clark, who did not participate in the shoot-around and stretching portions that were open to the media. She's dealing with a groin injury. She dealt previously with a quad strain. All indications is that she will not be available, but she...
The way the media circus played out is what makes this whole situation even more absurd.
Interesting first third of the season for your Indiana Fever. They're sitting at 8-8 right now, right at 500. Injuries have reared its ugly head, of course, with Caitlin Clark. Players coming to and from the team. Tawana Bonner no longer on the team. It's been anything but smooth sailing here to start this season. But this team is staying together, keeping the main thing, and next on the docket, a date with the Minnesota Lynx, best record in the league for the Commissioner's Cup final on Tuesday.
We heard Clark practice yesterday and he appeared to be doing well. She isn't even on the court for a shootout the next minute. It's like seeing a magician do a trick, only instead of the rabbit, we're all staring at an empty hat. Pickman is performing the Lord's job up there in Minnesota by reporting what he sees. Bless him. His images capture the Fever at Target Center as they go through their paces. And who is noticeably missing? Indeed, Caitlin, our girl? Not even the faintest hint of her. She seemed to have disappeared into thin air. Conspiracy theories are already outpacing Clark's three-point shooting. Some supporters believe that this is all part of a larger plan to keep the Lynx wondering about their opponent. Some people think this injury is more complicated than it first appears. Then there are the gloomy people who believe Clark is just being too careful over a small matter. Let's discuss what this actually implies for the Fever, though. The Minnesota squad that is desperate for the Commissioner's cut money is up against them. It's no joke that the squad will divide $500,000. Given that WNBA pay aren't exactly on par with NBA salaries, that's actual money that has the potential to transform players' lives. Additionally, they can be into combat without their most powerful weapon. Kelsey Mitchell will need to take the lead. Although she has been reliable throughout the season, she is a very different beast when it comes to shoulder the offensive. Burden without Clark? Asking someone who has only trained for a 5K to run a marathon is like that. Is it possible? Yes. Simple. Not at all. This whole scenario couldn't have come at a worse time. There is more to the Commissioner's Cup than a routine season game that is forgotten by the following week. The WNBA has the opportunity to present their finest product at this event. Additionally, it's like attending a concert without the main act when the league's top star is on the sidelines. The way that everything has been handled in terms of communication is what's really getting under my skin. Fans are entitled to more than mysterious updates and decisions on game timing. A little openness goes a long way. But we're not requesting a comprehensive medical report. Rather, we are fed rubbish, kept in the dark, and treated like mushrooms. As expected, the response on social media has been chaotic. In July, Twitter is dissolving more quickly than ice cream. Fans are clamoring for clarification. Others are urging patience. The typical suspects are making jokes about everything. It's similar to viewing a live-streamed digital soap opera. Some claim that this game is pointless, and that Clark should just take it easy to avoid getting hurt again. Those individuals are either deceiving themselves or are unaware of the significance of $500,000 to these guys. We are not discussing monopoly money here. These sportsmen could benefit for months from this life-altering money. Clark's competitive nature must be killing her at the moment. Big events and meaningful games are what this person thrives on. It must be excruciating to be made to watch from the sidelines as her teammates compete for a championship trophy and a substantial sum of money. Having to stand outside and observe through the window is similar to getting invited to a party. Minnesota must be enjoying the circumstances. Without knowing whether they would be facing the team's greatest player or not, they are getting ready for the fever. It's the best kind of psychological warfare. No matter how much the Lynx prepares for Clark, it will all be for nothing if she doesn't play. The injury itself calls into doubt the training procedures and medical personnel of the fever. Ow! Can a player be disqualified overnight after engaging in regular practice? Either the first evaluation was inaccurate, or something occurred between yesterday and that we aren't being informed about today. Not confident in either possibility. The entire circumstance emphasizes how unstable professional sports are. One moment you're living your best life, and the next you're locked in street clothes. Watching your squad compete for prize money, it serves as a sobering reminder that careers may change quickly, and that every game is more important than spectators may think. Beyond this particular game, Clark's absence has repercussions. It has an impact on rotation plans, team dynamics, and general confidence before a pivotal game. It's challenging to stay focused and adequately prepare when your star player is doubtful right up until the last minute. It is comparable to attempting to prepare for an exam in a subject you are not familiar with. It should come as no surprise that this story has received extensive media publicity. No one else in women's basketball produces as many clicks and views as Caitlin Clark does. Fans that are insatiably curious analyze and study every update, picture, and rumor. In the era of social media, it's the cost of fame. It is also impossible to overlook the business aspect of this circumstance. Ticket sales, TV ratings, and general game interest are all directly impacted by Clark's presence or absence. The WNBA has made significant investments to position her as the league's spokesperson. Therefore, it is detrimental to all parties involved for her to miss the big games. Basketball is no longer the only thing at stake. It has to do with marketing budgets and entertainment value. In the grand scheme of things, this moment embodies all that is thrilling and frustrating about watching professional sports. We are devoted fans because of the drama, the unpredictability, and the last-minute alterations. However, there are moments when you simply want to watch your favorite basketball star play without any additional intrigue. Now, the remainder of the Fever roster is under tremendous strain. They are aware that everyone will be watching them to see if they can compete without their star. It's a chance for role players to take charge and demonstrate their abilities. However, there's also a danger that things could go horribly wrong very fast. Do you recall earlier in the season when Clark was battling that eye injury? Thing took place. Fans are going crazy. There is a lot of controversy and conjecture. She returned and played as if nothing had occurred. Stakes seem higher this time around because of the money involved, but perhaps this is just history repeating itself. This whole issue is made much more bizarre by the Commissioner's Cup concept itself. It's not a regular season game, but it's also not a playoff game. Teams aim to win for the money and status, but not at the expense of their long-term well-being. This is the odd middle ground. This difficult balancing act between competing and protecting oneself is aptly shown by Clark's predicament. The narrative's abrupt transition from enthusiasm to disappointment is what's truly amazing. We discussed Clark's comeback and how she had assisted the Fever in vying for the prize money yesterday. We are discussing whether or not she will be present in the building today. More quickly than the weather, sports may change. And here's that reality's Exhibit A. Credit should be given to the reporters who attempted to make sense of the pandemonium while covering this story. As everyone else demands immediate answers, they are attempting to piece together a comprehensive picture from fragments of information. When the team withholds basic information, such as whether their star player can walk correctly, it is difficult. Scott Agnes has been doing a fantastic job of keeping tabs on the team and providing us with accurate updates rather than conjecture. No news conference could explain the narrative as well as his practice images. It eliminates all the speculation and political jargon from coaches attempting to be strategic when you can see with your own eyes that Clark isn't present. The fan responses vary from rational to very insane. People are advising her to get enough rest and recuperation, which is logical for long-term success. Others are then behaving as though Clark's injury was a personal betrayal, as though he did it to influence their fantasy selections. Most likely, the reality lies somewhere in the middle. As always, the situation's biggest annoyance for me is the absence of precise facts. It is not 1975, it is 2025. A more accurate medical evaluation should be made than maybe she'll play. Maybe she won't. Her injury is either severe enough to prevent her from participating, or it is not. This ambiguous strategy does little good and only adds unnecessary drama. For fans, the Fever season has been an emotional roller coaster. Although Clark's second season in the league was expected to go more smoothly than her debut campaign, it has been equally chaotic due to injuries and inconsistencies. Something new always comes up to keep everyone on edge just when it looks like things are getting settled. Alia, the remainder of the front court, including Boston, will have to step up significantly. Her playmaking and scoring skills are the backbone of the team's attacking strategy if Clark is unable to play. Minnesota can concentrate their defensive efforts elsewhere and make life much more difficult for the other players on the team without that danger. Clark has been dealing with this groin problem for weeks, which begs the question of whether the team has been handling it effectively. Groin injuries are challenging because they can worsen if left untreated and might persist for a long time. For her long-term health, this forced rest might be the wisest course of action. When it comes to the Commissioner Cup, timing is pure luck. This event is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It gives teams something extra to aim for throughout the regular season. The Fever and their supporters are even more hurt by Clark's absence, because players desire that cash and trophy. In the long run, this entire scenario demonstrates how brittle team dynamics and preparation can be in professional sports. The Fever's whole identity is based on Clark's special abilities. Therefore, everything else must change when she is unavailable. Plays, defensive plans, and rotations are all thrown out the window and rebuilt from the ground up. At the moment, the Minnesota Lynx are arguably the league's happiest team. They already had plans to make this a difficult game for Indiana. But their task became much simpler without Clark, specifically for the league's most potent attacking weapon. They may concentrate on shutting down other players rather than game preparation. This whole situation has become a circus due to social media, which is both amusing and draining. Every tweet is scrutinized, every image is examined for hints, and every update either makes thousands of people happy or sad. It's the tumultuous splendor of contemporary sports. There are also significant business ramifications. The availability of the league's top players for major games is a prerequisite for networks, sponsors, and advertising. Everything from TV ratings to retail sales is impacted when Clark is absent. The WNBA has put a lot of effort into making her a household name. As a result, her absence affects the entire organization. Even while it may be uncomfortable for everyone else, player health must ultimately come first. Clark should be given more time to recover if that is what is necessary. But since this guessing game does no good and only adds needless drama for supporters of the team, the communications surrounding that choice should surely be improved. The WNBA drama never ends, as this whole Caitlin Clark incident demonstrates. With $500,000 at stake, the Fever are in a difficult situation whether she plays or not. How do you feel about this mess? If you would like to see more coverage of the WNBA, please leave your thoughts in the comments section and use the like button. Get all the most recent updates by subscribing.